fellow R's, and welcome back to another episode of A View from the Loft with me, P-Block Scudze. Now today's video I'm going to talk about my top 5 favourite away days that I've been to. I've been to quite a few away days in the past, many grounds across the country, but these 5 have stood out for many reasons and have always been good days out. But before we get into that, don't forget to check out my Instagram page. The link is in the description below. There you can get all the videos that I do on match days, and make sure you go and give that a follow. So this first game on my list was more about the day itself. It was a really good day out. Everyone was in good spirits, and Ipswich were poor, as we can see here from this own goal from the goalkeeper. That was the start of what was to come, really. It wasn't like much of a game, but one player in particular had a really good game, was this man here, Easy. He first of all got us the penalty. Ipswich were rock bottom at the time, and Ty Mohammed made sure we got the 3 points with this cool penalty. But yeah, we all met up at the Railway pub before the game, and everyone was in really good spirits. Chelsea were also losing that day as well, so that made it even better. And yeah, it was, we come off the back of a draw against Derby, so to get the 3 points here was brilliant. And for me and my dad, it's not far up the road from us really, so we always like coming to Ipswich away because it is so close, and we do generally have a good turnout up there. But like I was saying, Easy had a really good game. It was such a shame here that he just didn't have the pace to take it all the way, and then this shot here where he hit the bar, really thought it was going to be 3-0 after this. So next up on my list is that wonderful game against Watford away. This was my first ever time at Vicarage Road, and what a day it was. It was, the sun was belting down on us all, and it was one of these games that, if we won it, we would be promoted again back to the Premier League. And it was tense because we'd actually drawn the previous 3 games, so the win. We needed that win to secure the promotion. No major highlights in the first half. This was the first major chance. Ali Fordin, first time, and brilliant save from the keeper. And give the keeper credit. That was the first of many brilliant saves he did pull off in the second half. One notable thing was that in the pre-match warm-up, Paddy Kenny actually got injured, so Radic Cherney had come in for one of the last of his few games for the club. This was the first goal. Tommy Smith to the magician, who was cool as anything putting that ball in the net. And I mean, that goal was coming all day long in the second half. And another thing was that Tommy Smith actually he had a brilliant game. It was hard for him because he spent many years at Watford, but as we can see here, he just powered on through. Lovely cross. Adel Tarab straight there in the 77th minute. And so, the tension started to die down a little bit. But, we wanted to celebrate, properly. But we still wasn't sure, with obviously not knowing if we had points deduction coming our way. We almost thought it was 2-0 here. To say, another great save from their keeper. The white Pele, Akos Bazaki, with a brilliant free kick, quite a distance out. I mean, look at this, it was just curling into that bottom corner, but yeah, say credit to the keeper, he got his hand to it. And he's... Okay, and then the second goal, Tommy Smith takes it round. Lovely low shot straight into the corner. He wasn't going to celebrate, but we were, that's for sure. And this goal came in the 90 plus 3 minutes. And you could just see what it meant, especially to fall in there. You know, it just summed up the day in the end. Keeper was nowhere near that one, which was, considering he made some really good saves. But Tommy Smith, what a goal! And we all know what happened after this game. So Palace away is always one of my favourites. This was the only major chance in the first half. Came off the defender and hit the bar. But yeah, I always love going to Palace away. It's always a good day out. And this one, I've done Palace I think 3 times away, and this was definitely the best one of them all. Early on in that championship winning season, so we were top at the time, and then Edgar Davids, the most experienced player on the pitch, went and did that, and we just couldn't believe our luck. And well done to Joey Mackey for not being selfish there, giving it the tabs to make it 1-0. I mean, it was such a tough game. Both teams were, were going at it. We were slightly better though, all the time. They had their few chances, but like a lot of time. This season was, once we got that goal, then there was only sort of generally one outcome, and that was us winning. We only went into second place twice the whole season, which says it all about the team that season. So that goal came in the 49th minute, and we knew it was going to be a long second half. But it just helps, being 1-0 up. Unfortunately though, it got to this point, 89 minutes in the game, and then their man Kieran Cadogan thought they got the draw there. I mean, that's why they were going wild, as it's a London derby, it's going to mean a lot to them. They really thought they got that draw, helping them out. But like every time this season, we just pushed and pushed, kept our cool, and just moved that ball around, kept moving it around. Lovely cross, and then there he is, Heider Helgeson, in the 90 plus 3rd minute. I remember we were going absolutely wild in the crowd, and Speroni, he was furious. He really thought he'd been fouled, but then when you watch the replays back, he was nowhere near it. And Heider, being Heider, getting that important header, and as I say, before this goal, we really thought that was a draw. But well done, Heider. Another 3 points in the bag against another London club. And so my second favourite away game had to be this one down at Cardiff. It was actually the hottest place in the UK was Cardiff that day, and we was all in really good spirits. I was very nervous because it was the first time I'd been to Cardiff since that fateful playoff final, and it didn't help matters when this happened in the 6th minute. It was so early in the game. We were trying to be sure in defence, and then that happened. I mean, fair play to Bothroyd. That was a brilliant goal, and that season as well, he was prolific for them. Cardiff themselves, had a great attacking players, but we had great attacking players and great defence, and that's ultimately what the difference was between us winning the championship and them not. And going into this game as well, we were top and they were second, so they needed it more to keep themselves running after us, but ultimately we were going to get back into the game only 4 minutes later. And at this point I felt like something was going to happen, and as soon as Tab's got this ball I thought, yeah, he's going to cross it. Oh no, wait, he didn't cross it, he scored! And it was just a brilliant goal from Tarabat. And you know, you can see there, it just meant so much to us to get back into the game that early on. We were having a great day out, no matter what. We weren't going to let the Cardiff boys spoil our day. I mean, you could just see that was Tarabat at his finest. What a goal, what a goal. So then run forward into the 35th minute, and like I was saying, they had a good striking players, and that man there, Craig Bellamy, had to go and make it 2-1 to Cardiff. And this was the beginning of the end for Bellamy, because you know, he'd been around, he'd done the big clubs, and then he'd come back to you know, his hometown club. And it was just unfortunate because at this moment we did lapse in concentration defensively. Connolly unfortunately didn't get his body in the right position. Didn't really matter if he handled it there or not, because Bellamy was right by him to smash it into the net. But even going into half time, I just felt like we were gonna get something out of this game still. The belief was still there, and I mean, Routledge, yeah, he was getting booed all game because he'd been on loan at Cardiff previously. And then a lovely dinking ball to Tarabat, and then that set us off even more. Getting that equaliser, and this wasn't one of Tarabat's best games either for the club, but you know, he got the job done. And I love how Warnock there is telling him, keep your head and keep doing what you're doing. But there's two parts I love about this goal. Is the first is Routledge's little dinking ball, and then how it falls to Tarabat. You know, he got maybe a bit lucky, but it was the fact the ball was practically underneath his body. You know, one touch and then no power, just the placement. You know, he didn't really pull his foot back. He just hit that ball and got that equalising goal. And then this moment right towards the end, I really thought this was the moment we were going to get 3 points. I still, to this day, can't understand how Hyder did not put that in the back of the net. Bit gutting, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was a good draw to take away, especially as a few weeks later we were getting promoted anyway. And if anything, it felt like a win, even though we didn't get that win. But yeah, what a great away day, brilliant support, and a brilliant game of football to watch too. I don't think many of you are surprised that this is my favourite away day. This day wasn't a favourite part of mine, when they cheat to get a penalty, but brilliant save by Smithies in the 6th minute. And then roll forward 20 minutes, Connor Washington, 1-0. Didn't matter how it went in. And at half time, if you've ever been to an away game at Fulham, you'll know how compact it is, and we was all bouncing around and singing. So we do love getting one over on Fulham. Then into the second half, and unfortunately in the 47th minute they pulled one back through Tim Ream, but it meant more for them. And then Cherry with the cross, Bosch, Idrissa Silla, what a goal. And again, I mean, the stand that we were in was literally rocking. You could feel it bouncing up and down because it meant so much to us. We hadn't been playing that well at the time, but you know, to get one over on Fulham, you know, it always means so much to us. We don't like our tourist neighbours. And then after this final minute, and the referee gave another dodgy penalty, and the cherry on the cake was they hit the post, and that was it.
So yeah, as you can tell, most of my favourite away days did come in that season, 2010, 2011. But hey, can you blame me? What a season that was, seeing us win the championship. However, though, I had to make sure that I left that #1 spot to that win away at Fulham. What a great day out that really was. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. But other than that, as always, come on you Rs.